Lisa, you right here.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Stacie Mitchelle, and I'm a Los Angeles-based actor, educator, and speaking coach. And I've gotten the opportunity to be on shows that have been on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Lifetime, Sony Pictures, as well as doing theater and also regional theater. And I went on to college and I got my Bachelor of Arts degree in theater performance at Western Michigan University. And then from there, got my master's degree in acting. So I'm a total acting geek. I love it. And while I was there, I got my master's at Purdue. I was on a teaching assistantship, so I got to teach. I got to teach acting and I got to teach voice work. And it was there that I fell in love with the voice work. And I think because I was such a shy kid, that made me finally feel like I could come into myself and I could be free and I could express myself and I could be a little weird and silly. And it is where I really came to life. And now I get to teach other people how to do that. And I absolutely love it. I studied with amazing voice teachers, and through them, I learned how to warm up and I learned the prep that I needed to do to go into an audition and feel calm. Like, feel like, okay, my voice isn't going to shake up there, or I could figure out how my chest, my heart is beating outside my chest. How do I still speak under these conditions? And so that's what drew me to the voice work. Was I started to learn all of these different systems, which I'm going to share with you today, on how to be calm and how to work with your nervous system and how to warm up your voice, how to warm up your instrument, but also understanding how much potential there is in language and in just a word and the sound of a word has helped me so much as an actor. Music can make you feel a certain way. Well, so can speaking, because our voices truly are vibrations. And so if you've ever heard like, ooh, this person has good vibes, that's actually true because our voices resonate. And so we have the ability with our voice to move people and to tell stories. From the moment we open our mouths, from the moment we talk, people learn about who we are as people. And for actors, the moment you open your mouth in an audition or on set, the casting director or the audience who's listening to the story is learning about your character. And you can tell so much about a person's voice. You can tell their age, where they come from. It can tell you if somebody's nice or warm or competent just by how they talk. When we speak, we are creating music. We're literally creating music with our tone, our rhythm, our pitch. You're not just making people hear you, you're making people feel what you're saying. And as actors, that's everything, right? Like, our whole job is to tell this story so that the audience takes something away from it, can feel something, can learn something. And so for us as actors, if we develop our voice, we have the ability to make the audience feel something and feel something specific. How do you think you got the voice that you have right now? Others around you. Yeah. We are the sum of all of us around each other. And one thing that I really truly love about voice work, and I love the evolution of voice work, and what I think is very important, is to honor where you come from. When I was coming up, it was more like, ooh, there's this standard way to speak, the standard American or the standard. And I'm so happy that we're getting away from that. And people are honoring the voices that they have, the nuances they have, the little dialects, the accents that they have, because it's what makes you you. It's what makes you interesting and unique. And yes, if you're going to play a character that is maybe not from where you are from and you want to study and learn and take on the dialect of that character? Yes, absolutely. But in everyday life, I think it's really important to honor your own voice and where you come from and who you are. We are going to start by talking about diaphragmatic breathing. So, if you've heard of the speaking voice or the singing, chances are you've heard this term diaphragmatic breathing. So your diaphragm is this muscle. It's a muscle that runs through the center of the body. That when you inhale, it descends, it goes down. When you exhale, it rises. And so why do you think it's important for speaking to have it be supported from the diaphragm? Yes. More control. Absolutely. Yes.
More power in your voice.
More power in your voice. Yes. The thing about breathing from your diaphragm is sometimes, I don't know if anybody has felt this before, but sometimes the breath and the voice can feel trapped or stuck. Does that ever happen to anyone where you're like, oh, my voice feels like kind of stuck right now or like trapped? And what is happening in the body is that tension is creeping in and it is stopping the breath, it's stopping the voice. And all of us have tension. I've never met a single person who's walking around like tension free. We all have tension. And it's something that we need to manage because as we go through our lives, especially nowadays, our lives are more sedentary. We're on our phones, we're driving in a car. And so our roadmap, our roadway for breath and sound can get stuck and it can get trapped. So we're going to be focusing a lot on how to eliminate some of this tension so that our voices can be the most expressive, the most powerful, the most supported breath and voice that we can have. I love this analogy of our voices being like water, like a water hose. I always like to think about if you kink a hose, the water won't come out. And when we have tension in our bodies, our voices don't come out as strongly or as freely or as expressively. So we need to get rid of tension so the breath can flow, the voice can flow. And like I said, tension can creep in really, really sneaky places. Because this, not to get super scientific and technical here, but just so we have an understanding of the things that we need to actually produce speech. If you look at this is the organs of articulation. And so all of these places in our mouth, our lips, our tongue, our jaw, our soft palate, our throat, our neck, our shoulders, all of this contributes to our sound. And it's places that we don't normally think about stretching or relaxing tension, like, oh, I'm going to stretch my soft palate today. But it really and truly makes a difference to our sound and our relaxation and our nerves and our energy. Tension loves to creep into the jaw. And our jaw is the trap door for emotion. I'm going to say that one more time because it's very powerful. The jaw is the trap door for emotion. So anytime you feel a big feeling and we don't express it, what's the first thing we do?
Clench your jaw.
Clench your jaw. Yes. If you look at a baby, what does their jaw look like? Yeah, right? Just hang and loose. They can scream, they can cry at a drop of a hat. But it's over time that we're told, shh, be quiet. Stop crying. Don't do that. Don't do this. And it goes into our jaw. And so as actors, we want to learn to be able to relax our jaw so that we can express those big feelings if we need to. So take your fingers and just bring them up into your jaw in here. And see if you can just let the lips part and let that lower jaw hang. And see if you can just start to investigate this area. Like, oh, okay, my jaw hinge starts up on my ears And then I'm just walking my fingers down the jaw hinge all the way to the chin here. Interesting, this bone. And now we're going to bring the sides of our hands, we're going to bring them up to our ears, and we're going to sweep down the jaw hinge. See if you can relax the shoulders, make sure you're breathing, and sweep all the way down in your own time to the chin. When you get to the chin, you're going to sweep back on this jawbone. So like sweep back. And you're going to let the lower jaw just hang. We don't need to like open it wide, just let it hang, kind of like it naturally might want to. Now we're going to stretch our tongue. So, one of the main articulators that helps to form speech. So, we want to wake it up. So, take your tongue, and on the inside of your mouth, you're going to make like a big circle all the way around and just kind of sweeping the teeth. So, just way around. Beautiful. Do it a few times. And make sure you're breathing. And then go in the other direction. Beautiful. So the soft palate, so where is your soft palate?
It's like at the back of the roof.
Yes, the very, very back. So just so we're all on the same page here. So it's way, these are your lips. Here's your tongue here. It's that soft place all the way in the back of the mouth that when you yawn, it lifts. So everyone just feed it in a nice big yawn. Yes, I'm feeling that lift. Now we're going to feed in a KA. So if you're feeling like choking, your back tongue might be pulling down a little bit. See if you can just relax the tongue. Just nice and soft. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so in here we're going to feed in a KA. A KA. It's going to sound like this. And the soft palate will lift. So I'll do it first and then we'll do call and response. So and now release it back down. Yes, and again lift and release. And now we're going to do 3 times fast into a yawn. Yes, and now nice and easy. Ki ki ki. Gi gi gi. Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Yes. Ooh, crisp. Crisp articulation there. Lovely, lovely. Alrighty. So those 3 places can really be the trap door for our breath in our expression. The soft palate, the tongue, and the jaw. So those are really great things to do for prep as actors. To just do a few little stretches here and there. Again, it's like really quick things you can do. Just stretch it out, wake it up, get the mouth moving, so that speaking becomes easier and the breath is freer that way. Rate of speech. What is rate of speech? Yes. The speed. Yeah, absolutely. How slow you talk and how fast you talk. So, rate of speech, if you want to prove a point, you can slow down. And if there's something that's maybe not very important, you can kind of talk fast and breeze through it. But what we get to do as actors, as speakers, as communicators, is we get to highlight what words are important with our voices. And we do that through rate of speech. So think of it really truly that your pace becomes a highlighter. If you think about as you're speaking, what are the important pieces in this scene? What are the important points? If you're in a crime movie and you are dropping a clue in that movie, we better have a highlight around the important pieces of information or the important pieces in the story so that the audience gets it. And we as actors are storytellers. So it's important to highlight the important parts. And we can really, truly do that with speed. There's so much potential. There's so much room for play with rate of speech. And it's one of the things that I love to do the most in auditions. I don't know if anybody has experienced this, but now they're not so much in person. But if you're ever called back and you're in the room, a lot of times a casting director will say, "Can you just do it one more time?" Or this happens a lot on set too. "Can you just do it one more time and just do something different? Just make another choice." And you're like, "I don't know. Okay, what other choice do I make?" And rate of speech is such a good one. And a lot of times actors think they're doing it, but they're not. So you have to really overdo it. You have to go further than you want to go for this to work. And it will feel unfamiliar and uncomfortable. But it can be such an effective acting choice to really prove your point. Now, it needs to be connected to reality. It needs to be grounded in truthfulness. That being, it needs to be grounded in your objective. The next thing that you can play with in your toolkit are vowels and consonants. It's one of my favorite things to do. What is a vowel? Let's go back to elementary school. Yes. Beautiful, nailed it. A-E-I-O-U. And a consonant is everything else. Yes, yes. So vowel and consonants in words have very different energy. And the emotion lies, do you think, in the vowels or in the consonants? The vowels. When you hear a baby cry, does a baby cry on a vowel or on a consonant? A vowel, right? Ah, mama. They're dragging out the ah. Mama. So vowels have all of this potential for emotion. And again, it needs to be rooted in authenticity. But if you lean into the vowels of a word, it has so much capacity to tap into inner emotion. And when it's connected to your objective, it can be like lightning. It can be really, really effective. The emotion, like we were talking about, lies in the vocal energy and the pitch and variation. Now, consonants, on the other hand, have a very different energy. There's a crispness and there's a clarity to the consonants. So, talking about voice and diction, you can, if you want to be clearer, you really hit the consonants of the word. If you want to be more emotional, you can lean into the vowels of the word. So, what are some physical sensations that happen in your body when you're nervous? Yes. Adrenaline. That's what nerves are. Nerves are actually excess adrenaline that's happening in the body. And once you realize, oh, it's just this extra energy that's happening in my body, then I can work with it. So adrenaline, what are some other physical sensations that happen? The heart starts beating. For me, the palms get sweaty and you can start to shake a little bit. You tense up. So these are just physical sensations. And going back to nerves are adrenaline, knowing that your body is trying to protect you in that moment. Your body is going into fight or flight mode because it's saying, ooh, this is a scary thing, run. And it's giving you all of this adrenaline. But once you realize it's just adrenaline, then you can work with it and you can burn off that excess adrenaline ahead of time. So here are 4 ways to cope with nerves, okay? The first one is physical activity. Physical activity burns off that excess adrenaline. It's just excess energy in your body that has nowhere to go. So it goes to your heart It goes to your palms and your body starts to shake because there's just more adrenaline in the body. So burning off that adrenaline by doing like 20 minutes of just getting your heart up, or going around the block a few times before the audition, or going up and down some stairs, can start to just shed some of that excess adrenaline off. So it's really helpful to get that heart rate up ahead of time for a little bit. And then doing breath work to bring it back down, to start to calm the body, where you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 4, and you breathe out for 4, and you hold your breath for 4, and you just repeat that for a couple of minutes. And then the mindset shift. So again, reframing it like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. If these physical sensations start to happen, like, oh, my heart is racing, my palms are sweaty, you can start to reframe it as like, okay, this is what my body does before I'm ready to go. This is just energy. This is adrenaline. Okay, I can use this. I can channel this into my performance. The last thing, and we talked about this yesterday, is take the focus off yourself. Because when you're thinking about yourself, we become self-conscious. So take the focus off yourself and put it all on your scene partner and what your goal is, what your objective is. If you're just like nervous in the room today, or in a situation, in a job interview, anytime in life, this is something that really helps me, is I take it all off myself and I go, I'm just going to try to put the other person at ease. I'm going to just try to make the room calm. And that gives me an objective. Like, I'm just going to try to share some joy. And that little reframe for me is just like, okay, it's not about me. What do I want to, what can I give? What can I offer right now?